Welcome back, Awesomes. Here to talk about Project 1B. So once you write Project 1A, I won't say it writes itself, right? But we'll learn and kind of talk about in chapter 15 of our readings this week. There are some specific things, and also if we look at the Project 1B kind of outline, if you will, or organization for what to do, we might want to think about this in a little bit different terms, right? So now we're going to work on our presentation skills, right? And so we're going to come up with a 4 to 5 minute oral presentation of our summary. All right, so introduction, right? So right off the bat, the camera comes on, captures you, right? Just needs to capture you. I need to see you, need to hear your voice, and I need to be able to ascertain your presentation skills, if you will. And remember, this is just the first one, so don't overthink it. All right. Capture the attention of your listeners. Maybe introduce yourself. Convince the audience you're qualified to speak on the topic. Maybe you have an interest or some kind of connection to the topic. Feel free to explain that. That's good. The purpose of your informative summary presentation and forecast the structure of your presentation. It says on a separate slide, you can have a PowerPoint. Okay, you can have those types of things, but so if you had your PowerPoint, let's say up here where I have this stuff, if you want to use a screen capture software, kind of like what I'm using, I think it's called Screencastify. All right, as long as I can see you and hear you, right down here. If you wanted to have something up there, you possibly could, but don't add any graphics or pictures or graphs or charts or anything like that. Just keep your slides minimal, just the key points, and then you want them to be focusing on you. And then you use your slides to present three main points of your summary. What are the three main things? Present related content, extemporaneous style. That's what we're really kind of going for. Now, in this very first one, if you wanted to have something more, let's say, written out, this is just me scribbles letting me know which videos I need to make. All right. But what I'm doing here is extemporaneous. I know what I'm saying. I know what I need to say. I know that I'm going to be reviewing Project 1B. But as far as having a script out, I don't have a script telling me what to say from every single time I move the screen or look at the clock. It's okay, at a 2-minute time, I need to be saying this, right? These are roundabout times, right? So you got 1 minute to kind of like introduce yourself. Then you got a couple of minutes, convey the 3 points, right, from the article. And then use language as appropriate for a non-technical audience. And recall in the last video, or at least the video when we talked about Project 1A and the language that we're using, we also talk about this when it comes to discourse, right? There's the discourse of science or the discourse of biology. There's the discourse of math, the discourse of rhetoric, et cetera, et cetera. These types of discourses, too, we want to think about. We don't necessarily need to use and to be careful about using certain types of words that our audience might not understand. But at the same time, we don't want to go so far down that we get into colloquialism. So we still be mindful of our language. Use language that's appropriate, right? That still gets across to a non-technical audience, but that is not necessarily street talk, right? So we find that delicate balance. Then in conclusion, summarize your points and effectively remind the audience the information you would like them to remember, what's important, what really stands out to you about the article that you are reviewing. And of course, in this particular case, obviously, we're not going to have an opportunity for questions, right, since you're recording it and posting the recording. But invite questions if you can imagine a question that someone might ask you. I've had students before, get to the question and invite questions and go, oh, yeah, you have a question. And then, oh, yeah, that person just asked da-da-da-da-da and then answered it, right? That's always an interesting way, and it adds a little time, too. So feel free to engage in activities if you can, imagine what someone might ask you. All right. I don't want to say it's easy, because it's not. Sometimes we all maybe get a little nervous, feel a little apprehensive sometimes when we're doing this type of project and we're presenting. Let's get this kind of like a Band-Aid. Let's get the first one done. Let's just rip it off, get it done. All right, submit it to me, and if we have any major issues that I feel needs to be worked on, we will take care of them. All right, so just be relaxed and be yourself. All right, guys, about out of time. Enjoy working on Project 1B this week. Bye.